Hi everyone, it's Jordan again, and I want to ask you a question as we get started today. What makes you feel content? What brings you a sense of contentment or makes you feel satisfied? Something that you do, maybe something that you're looking forward to. I'll be content when blank happens. Be thinking about your answer to that personally, because the verses that we're going to talk about today are looking at Paul's life and the thing that made him the most content. So this is Philippians 4:11 through 13 are the verses that we're going to be looking at today. And it says, "For I have learned," this is Paul talking now, "for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength." Now, you're probably saying, that's a lovely verse. That's very nice. Maybe you're thinking it's maybe a little bit impractical depending on what you're going through and what you're feeling today. But it's easy to just be like, oh, that's lovely, right? And kind of brush past it. That is until you realize exactly what Paul's circumstances were, what he'd been through, what he was going through at the time that he wrote this. And that's where our devotional picks up today. Because see, Paul writes that from a Roman dungeon. He's in prison when he writes these words about being content. He's awaiting sentencing from the emperor. He's isolated. He's lonely. He's worried about the growth of the churches he's established. Yet through all of that, he claims to be content. Let's look at a few other things he's gone through in his life. He was tortured multiple times. He was shipwrecked multiple times. Come very close to death multiple times. And to read from his own words in 2 Corinthians, "In my many travels, I have been in danger from floods and from robbers, in danger from my own people and from Gentiles. There have been dangers in the cities, dangers in the wild, dangers on the high seas, dangers from false friends. There have been work and toil. Often I've gone without sleep. I've been hungry and thirsty. I've often been without enough food, shelter, or clothing. And not to mention other things, every day I am under the pressure of my concern for all the churches." Okay, I'm sorry. How many dangers did you count in there? Because I counted like 6 different times he used the word danger, and not just little danger, like life and death danger. Anyway, this is someone who knows suffering. This is someone who knows what he's talking about when he says he's been in need. We cannot even imagine what he has been through, what he has seen, what he's facing as he writes this. And yet, in spite of all of that, he claims to be content. So how can that possibly be the case? He lacks everything the modern world tells us brings contentment. And that's when we get into what he says he's found the secret for being content. But first I want to ask, what was it for you that you thought of that makes you feel content, that brings you contentment? For me, I've told you this before, I'm a very relationship-driven person. If I feel very connected to people, to friends, to family, then I definitely feel more of a sense of contentment there. Especially if I'm able to help somebody else, then I really feel very satisfied as well. But whatever it is for you, whatever it is for me, we're looking at Paul's situation, and I'm pretty sure we're all thinking, there is nothing positive in that. There is nothing to bring contentment in that. There is no possible way. In fact, if it were me, man, I think I probably would have given up at that point. Look at all he's been through. How do you keep going in that? And let alone keep going, how do you find contentment? How are you satisfied in that? Here we go. How can that possibly be? What is the secret Paul found? Through God who gives him strength. The secret to contentment isn't a special hobby or activity for him. It's a relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's where contentment truly can be found for us. A relationship with Jesus Christ. So here's the point. You ready? We all look to so many different things to bring us that contentment. I find it kind of ironic for me personally, because I even said relationships as mine, but for me, I'm looking at the wrong relationships. I'm looking at relationships of the world around me, to different friends and family. And of course, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for sure. But I'm not looking up to the one relationship that's truly going to bring me that contentment. Maybe you're looking at, like I said earlier, something that's going to happen in the future. I'll be happy, I'll be content when this happens. When I graduate, when I move out, when I get a boyfriend or girlfriend, when I get married, when I get that job, etc. Whatever it might be for you. None of those things are truly going to bring you contentment. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound depressing with that. I'm just telling you. This is straight from Paul. The one thing that brings true contentment, whether you have a lot, whether you have a little, whatever you're going through, the one true thing that truly can satisfy you is a relationship with Jesus Christ. As we close, I want to read you some song lyrics that this whole devotion made me think of. This is from 10th Avenue North. It's called Satisfy. And basically, it is just asking God, a prayer of, God, please show me that you are my satisfaction, that you are my contentment, that you are my joy. Show me that, Lord. Before the sun has touched the sky, before the flood of morning light, before I stand up to my feet, before I begin to feel this weak, satisfy me, Lord. Satisfy me, Lord. I am begging you to help me see you're all I want. You're all I need. Satisfy me, Lord. Lord, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're more than all this world can give. In other words, exactly what Paul was saying, looking to the world for satisfaction is going to return empty every single time. Because God is so much more than anything else we could get from this world. God is the only true satisfaction. You're more than all this world can give, Lord. Your love is all I need to live. Satisfy me, Lord. This person, look at it, I'm begging you to help me see that you, God, are all I want, that you, God, are all I need. All those goals that I have, all those ideas of future joy or future contentment, God is the only thing that's going to bring contentment in the future and right now, right in this moment where you are right now. Are you finding it difficult to be content with where you are right now? It's okay to be struggling. It's okay to call out to God. But in the midst of it all, please know that He is right there and that He is offering you contentment right where you are, right in what you're going through. And He is the only one who will truly satisfy. God is good all the time. I love you guys.